This story is a work of fiction inspired by real events, but it is not a direct retelling of any specific real-life incident. All names, characters, places, and events have been fictionalized and are used solely for the purpose of storytelling. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. The intention behind this story is to highlight social issues, emotions, and dramatic narratives, not to offend, defame, or hurt the sentiments of any individual, group, religion, or community. The content is created for entertainment and awareness purposes only. We respect all individuals and communities and urge viewers/readers to take this story in the spirit of fiction and creative expression. In a world where traditions often override personal desires, a marriage was arranged between two individuals, Simran and Sagar. Their families believed it was the perfect union, one built on cultural values and mutual respect. The wedding was grand, filled with music, rituals, and the smiles of relatives who trusted that this sacred bond would blossom into love. Sagar, a kind-hearted and hopeful man, embraced the marriage with genuine joy. He saw it as the beginning of a shared journey, a path where two people grow to understand and support each other. Simran, his newlywed bride, mirrored his happiness, or so it appeared. Behind her composed smiles and graceful demeanor, however, was a dark secret that no one, not even her husband, could see. After the wedding ceremonies concluded, Sagar expressed a heartfelt desire to visit a spiritual place to seek blessings. He believed it was important to begin their new life with the grace of the divine. Simran, calm and pleasant, suggested something different. "Let's do something exciting instead," she said. "Let's go to the hills. A quiet getaway, just the two of us. We can pray later." Sagar hesitated, but eventually agreed. After all, she was his wife, and he wanted her to feel heard and valued. The couple checked into a beautiful hotel nestled among tranquil hills. The weather was soothing, the views breathtaking. They ate well, talked late into the evening, and planned a peaceful holiday together. But Sagar soon began noticing subtle changes in Simran's behavior. The next morning, as they prepared to visit some scenic spots, Sagar suggested taking a selfie together to capture their first trip as husband and wife. Simran casually replied, "You take yours, I'll take mine." Her tone was detached, cold even. Sagar blinked in confusion. Was she upset about something? Had he done something wrong? He chose not to push, hoping she would open up later. What he didn't know was that while he was busy admiring souvenirs at a roadside shop, Simran had discreetly slipped away to meet a stranger. She handed him an envelope stuffed with money, her voice barely above a whisper as she gave instructions. That stranger wasn't just anyone. He was a contract killer. The plan was in motion. Later, as the couple wandered through a less crowded area, soaking in the natural beauty, Sagar felt a sudden forceful shove from behind. He turned around only to be attacked by three masked men. One of them struck him. He staggered but held his ground, shielding Simran with his body, unaware that she didn't need protection. He fought back fiercely, his instincts kicking in. Despite his lack of combat skills, his will to survive, and to protect his wife, fueled him. He punched, kicked, and managed to throw one attacker to the ground. He believed it was a robbery or random assault. He never suspected betrayal. But then one of the attackers pulled out a knife and plunged it into Sagar's side. He gasped, blood seeping through his clothes, and stumbled. Before he could react again, another assailant pushed him with full force. Sagar fell. He rolled down the edge of a steep drop, disappearing into the wild terrain below. And Simran, she didn't cry out. She didn't run for help. She didn't call the police or nearby locals. She simply vanished. Had she raised an alarm, had she made a single call, Sagar might have been found alive. He was still breathing when he landed, bruised, bleeding, broken, but alive. But minutes passed, then hours. By the time anyone reached that place, it was too late. Back at home, the families waited for updates. Days passed. No calls, no messages. Both families grew restless, but Simran's phone was switched off. Sagar's phone rang unanswered. Sagar's younger brother, worried sick, decided to act. He caught a flight and arrived at the last known destination. He went straight to the hotel, questioned the staff, and contacted local authorities. But his concerns were met with indifference. "They're adults. They may have chosen to leave without informing anyone," said an officer. 2 days later, a patrolling officer stumbled upon a body at the foot of a steep slope, battered, decomposing, unclaimed. The brother was called in for identification. As soon as he saw the face, swollen and cold, he fell to his knees. It was Sagar. Tears flowed uncontrollably, but there was no time to mourn. He asked the police, "Where is Simran?" She was gone. An official complaint was filed. Investigations began. For weeks, there were no answers. Simran had vanished. Her family had no idea where she was. Her parents were in shock. They never imagined their daughter capable of something so sinister. Eventually, a call came from a hospital in a far-off state. A woman had been brought in by passers-by, injured, disoriented, malnourished. Her name was Simran. The police took her into custody. At first, she refused to speak, claiming memory loss. But under sustained interrogation, her silence began to crack. When the truth came out, it horrified everyone. "I never wanted this marriage," she said with blank eyes. "I loved someone else. My family forced me to marry Sagar. I couldn't tell them no. So I acted. I had to be free. I had to get rid of him." She confessed that the trip was part of a carefully plotted plan. The location was chosen for isolation. The attackers were paid in advance. Her performance was rehearsed. Her emotions were fake. And the result? A dead husband, a devastated family, and a trust that could never be repaired. Sagar had done nothing wrong. He had accepted the marriage with an open heart. He respected Simran, loved her, and hoped for a life filled with mutual understanding. Had she been honest, he might have set her free. If she had said she loved someone else, perhaps their families could have reached a peaceful resolution. But instead of honesty, she chose murder. One question echoed in everyone's mind. What was his fault? Was it his fault to trust? Was it wrong for him to hope that love could grow in a marriage arranged by families? Was it wrong for him to believe in the sacredness of the relationship? This wasn't just a murder. It was a betrayal of the deepest kind. The betrayal of marriage. The betrayal of trust. The betrayal of a life that had only just begun. Simran now sits in a prison cell, her future lost to her own choices. Her boyfriend, too, had moved on by the time she was caught. She was alone, by her own doing. Two families were left in ruins. Sagar's parents aged overnight. His younger brother carries the guilt of not reaching him in time. Simran's parents still struggle to comprehend what their daughter became. This tragedy is a mirror held up to society. We must stop treating marriages like transactions. We must stop forcing people into commitments they don't want. And we must never allow silence to become a breeding ground for violence. People deserve the right to choose, to say no, to walk away. But no one, deserves to be killed for simply being married to the wrong person. Let this story be a lesson, not just of heartbreak, but of caution. Always speak up before it's too late. And before tying someone's life to another's, remember, a marriage built on lies can destroy not just hearts, but lives.